bit too much rock around there. Some good pieces.
Now, if you don't disturb your sand, it's all good until you do. And it's all good to have sand sifting stars and sifting animals in there. That absolutely helps. But one thing I come across every now and then is what we dub old tank syndrome. And what old tank syndrome is through the bottom of the reef, particularly under the rocks, and definitely all through the sand, you're going to build up mulm. And mulm is that looks like concrete dust that you see on the bottom of an aquarium when all the nutrients are taken out of it, and it's like a fine powder, and then that just builds up in the sand, and then eventually the oxygen can't get into the sand because the particles are too small, and then instead of having good nitrifying bacteria and good denitrifying bacteria, you end up with anoxic bacteria. And the disadvantage of anoxic bacteria is it discharges hydrogen sulfide. So over time, it is possible that hydrogen sulfide is leached into the water. This aquarium runs polyfilter, so that is unlikely to be an issue because the polyfilter will remove the hydrogen sulfide. But the issue is if you disturb it all at once, and if the polyfilter is not got enough life in it, then the concentration of hydrogen sulfide may slowly erode the immune system of the fish and coral, or if it's extreme enough, could potentially kill them. And as a service guy, this is something I'm scared of, because a customer can have an aquarium like this, it's been running well for years, then they can call me over, Mr. Expert comes, and Mr. Expert moves some rocks around or gives it a redecorate and make it look really awesome, but either all the fish die right in front of my face, which has happened a couple of times, and makes you look like a real dick, or since you're there, over the next week, 2 weeks, slowly all their fish die. And then they ring you up abusing you, telling you what a retard you are because their tank was fine until you came along, and now you've slowly killed all their fish, which you've actually done. So what I would recommend is if you have an aquarium that hasn't had the substrate moved for a long time, the first thing I'll do is put aquarium detox in there for 1 month. Now, the aquarium detox is bacteria from mud, which is incompatible with anoxic zones. So it goes in there, it destroys all the anoxic zones temporarily. Then I would put fresh polyfilter in. Then I would feel safe to do what I need to do. And I would ensure that the aquarium detox is added monthly and that I had a polyfilter in there. But I'm a big fan of gravel cleaning because when you get all that mulm in there, I really feel better about that being out and the substrate being able to breathe.